any of you remember those Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 1930s? You know, the ones that were just put on DVD a few years ago. Well, I hear there was one that was unreleased, to even the most avid classic Disney fans. According to sources, it's nothing special. It's just a continuous loop, like the Flintstones, of Mickey walking past 6 buildings that goes on for 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in the other cartoons, the song on this cartoon was not a song at all. Just a constant banging on the piano keys for a minute and a half before going to white noise for the remainder of the film. It wasn't the jolly old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing or even smiling, just kind of walking, as if you or I would walk, with this dismal look upon his face and his head tilted to one side. Up until a year or two ago, everyone believed that after it cut to black, that was it. But when Leonard Maltin was reviewing the cartoon to be put in the complete series, he decided it was too junk to be on the DVD, but wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact that it was creation of Walt's. When he had a digitized version up on his computer, he noticed something. The cartoon was actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is what my source, a personal assistant to one of the higher executives at Disney, and an acquaintance of Mr. Maltin himself, emailed to me in full. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back to Mickey walking. The sound was different this time. It was a murmur. It wasn't a language, but more like a gurgled cry. As the noise got more indistinguishable and loud over the next minute, the picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started going in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey walking, and the dismal face of the mouse slowly curling into a smirk. On the 7th minute, the murmur turned into a blood-curdling scream, the kind of scream painful to hear, and the picture was getting more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't have been possible at the time. Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled on the bottom of his chin like 2 marbles in a fishbowl, and his curled smile was pointing upward on the left side of his face. The buildings became rubble, floating in mid-air, and the sidewalk was still impossibly navigating in warped directions. A few seeming inconceivable to what we, as humans, know about direction. Mr. Maltin got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything that happened up until the last second, and afterward, immediately store the disc of the cartoon into the vault. This discordant screaming lasted until 8 minutes and a few seconds in, and then it abruptly cuts to the Mickey Mouse face at the end of the credits, just like every video, with what sounded like a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever was in that remaining 30 seconds, I haven't been able to get a sliver of information about. But from what a security guard working under me who was making rounds inside the room, I was told what happened after the last frame. The employee stumbled out of the room with pale skin and bloodshot eyes. He repeated, "Real suffering is not known," 7 times, before speedily taking the guard's pistol and shooting himself. The thing I could get out of Leonard Maltin was that the last frame was a piece of Russian text that roughly said, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." As far as I know, no one else has seen it. But there have been dozens of attempts at getting the file onto rapid share by employees inside the studios, all of whom have been properly terminated of their jobs. Whether it got online or not is up for debate, but if rumors serve me right, it's online somewhere under the name Suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it, and to contact me by phone immediately, regardless of time. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means this has to be something huge.